Hello, Radhamam. Are you there?
Hi,
Hey.
I hope I'm audible, Gaurav.
Yes, ma'am. Can hear you loud and clear.
Great.
Okay, guys. So, welcome for today's special webinar on POSH. Firstly, let me introduce today's speaker, it's Radha Sharma. She's the founder and director of Vamasati Foundation. She's an experienced coach, consultant, and corporate trainer who has spent more than 10 years empowering professionals worldwide with a special focus on POSH compliances, PESA, and DI. Radha is also the official spokesperson for the Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Haryana, and a council member of the Anti-Sexual Harassment National Council. Today, she'll be breaking down the POSH compliance for HR teams in a way that both practical and approachable. So she'll share her real-life scenarios and tools to help you stay compliant with ease. So please join me in welcoming Radha Sharma. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you, Team HRMS. And I appreciate all your presence over here for this webinar POSH for HR, IC member, management, and everyone. So before I start with the POSH and its meaning, many of you may have already attended so much of workshop, webinars, and may have the knowledge as well. So I respect all that. Friends, before I start the session, I would like to give a very, very small story about how the POSH came. All right. So एक लड़की थी रोज काम पर जाती थी आंखों में सपने कंधे पे जिम्मेदारी ऐसी थी कुछ उसकी लाइफ पॉजिटिव वाइब्स नो हैरेसमेंट जब तक था वर्क प्लेस सुरक्षित हैरेसमेंट फ्री एक दिन कुछ नजरें उसे रोकने लगी कुछ बातें जो मजाक के नाम पर थीं उसको दिल को ठेस लगाने लगी एक दिन उसने सोचा चलो लेट मी इग्नोर कर देते हैं देन शी थॉट इफ आई talk about it what people will say about me they will laugh at me and मेरी जॉब का क्या will that be safe then that day she decided नहीं चुप रहते हैं कुछ नहीं कहते हैं तो दोस्तों यहीं से सिलसिला शुरू हुआ उस गर्द का चुप रहने से ये एक कहानी नहीं ऐसी कई कहानियां थी जहां पे लोग चुप थे हमारे विक्टिम चुप थी सिस्टम चुप था nobody bothered neither HR nor the management और गर्द कंटिन्यूस चलता रहा तो दोस्तों एक दिन एक आवाज उठी वो आवाज किसकी थी वो आवाज थी भवरी देवी की जिसने अपने गैंगरेप पर चुप रहना नहीं लड़ना चुना उसने बहुत सारे डोर्स नॉक किए फॉर जस्टिस आफ्टर दैट वी हैव द विशाखा गाइडलाइन उसके बाद कई और आवाजें उठी अनेक आवाजें मिलती गईं वो आवाजें थी हमारे निर्भया केस पर उस समय सोसाइटी ने कहा बस अब और नहीं तो दोस्तों जब ये बस अब और नहीं आया यहीं से हमारे पॉश एक्ट का जन्म हुआ। दोस्तों, ये पॉश एक्ट क्यों बना, ठीक है, लेकिन उससे इंपॉर्टेंट एक चीज और है। क्या हम सब पॉश एक्ट की रिस्पेक्ट करते हैं? दैट मीन्स, आर वी इन प्रैक्टिकलिटी applying it in the organization where a woman have lot of challenges? She experience many type of harassment, right from the non-verbal, verbal, and your physical harassment, digital harassment. Every day she faces so many cases, so many type of experiences, or she or the other people see about it. But what we are doing it, are we doing this posh just as a compliance? तो क्या पॉश सिर्फ कानून है? ये आज हम सबके लिए बहुत बड़ा क्वेश्चन मार्क है। अगर ये सिर्फ कानून है तो सिर्फ डॉक्यूमेंट्स पे है, लेकिन अगर हम ये कहें पॉश कानून से हटके ये हम सबकी सोच है, वो सोच जो हमें देखनी चाहिए कि सही है या गलत है, और गलत सोच को सही का निर्देशन मिलना जरूरी है। ये सबकी जिम्मेदारी है। तो पॉश सिर्फ कानून ना होकर एक सोच और हम सबकी जिम्मेदारी है। तो दोस्तों, आज हमें इस पे काम करना है कि ये जिम्मेदारी हम सब मिलकर कैसे आगे बढ़ाते हैं, so that every workplace, with our accountability, with our small efforts, will carry a long impact, positive work culture in every organization। जहां पे लड़के कहे मुझे डर नहीं है, मुझे हक है, कुछ गलत होता है तो मैं कह सकती। जहां हर वर्क प्लेस ये कहे कि यहाँ पे अब रिस्पेक्ट से कोई कंप्रोमाइज नहीं होता, यहाँ कोई सेक्सुअल हैरेसमेंट नहीं होती। तो दोस्तों, आज हमारी सबकी यही कमिटमेंट होनी चाहिए कि आज हम ऐसा क्या करें जिससे कि हमारा वर्क प्लेस हैरेसमेंट फ्री हो। तो चले लेके चलती हूँ मैं आपको आज के एक बहुत लाइव और बहुत रीसेंट केस में, जिसने पूरी दुनिया को शॉक में डाल दिया। यस, यू आर राइट, TCS Nasik case. You must have heard from the social media a lot about it. Who is the victim? Who are the accused? Why she was quiet? Why she was so late? Or what were the situation that arises the harassment in the organization? So friends, I will be covering all type of harassment which is experienced in the organization through this case study only। दोस्तों, जब ये सिचुएशन हुई तो इसको आज हम थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लोर करते हैं। I have not given any name of the accused as well due to the certain legal limitations and all। तो हमारे पास जो complaints आए, right, that was not by a single woman employee in the company. There were the multiple women who came forward after only one girl who raised her voice. So this case has become multi victims and multi accused, because there was no single accused, there were many people involved that। So how it started, Danish, you must have heard the name in the social media, in the news channels as well। Danish, who was the college mate of this victim, the victim who raised her voice first. He approached for friendship, she denied. He tried to be close, she denied. But slowly and gradually, they spent the time in the college. They known to each other. And Danish joined the company TCS. Now, this was the situation when Danish lured her for a good job in the industry, good and a safe, secure job. And my dear friends, I think everyone looks for that. We have the legal right after, I mean, we have so much of good education. We are lot of dreams in the industry is to go and to make a name and to earn something good. So I have mentioned in my story also कि हमारे सपने होते हैं, हमारी जिम्मेदारियां होती हैं. So these girls were the Danish or the TCS employees were the soft target who were from the weaker family first. Their financial position was not so good. Secondly, they have the dreams to achieve. They just wanted to have a good entry in a good corporate. So Danish here got success in making her convince, got her interviewed in the company, and she got a job. When she got a job, she joined. She mentioned in her statement as well that from her training days, this situation arises. The situation where she experienced certain kind of a harassment by the team leaders. She mentioned the name of the accused as well, which I'm not disclosing here. But yet, at the time, he tried to close physically. So there were the number of people who tried to close this girl physically, mentally, emotionally. There was a lot of pressure on her. But she decided to keep silence. That's a pathetic situation. And at the time, the story doesn't stop here. So, how it went friendliness at the college, being personal, approach for job, repeated requests, and the pressure that leads to silence in her life. She felt confused. What's happening with me? How can I avoid? She had the doubt, she had fear in her. If I'll speak, what will happen? Again, the result is silence. But on the pressure on certain criteria of religion, right? She changed her behavior, and that is noticed by her parents. That was some namaz and all, reading namaz, keeping rosa, and above all, the victim have a change in her communication style. That is आइए बैठिए करिए something like that which we normally do not take it in the corporate, like even with our colleagues, आओ बैठो, something like that, right? So that change was behavior change was noticed by family and tried to find out why our daughter is changing, but she still keep mum. One day when she kept a fast in rosa, her mother took her in confidence and came to know that this is the reason. The things went out from family to neighborhood, neighborhood to the people who are influential in the society, and a leader from that society, from that particular area of a residence, went to the police and narrated the whole story. At that time, with the support of family, support of the leader, she got confidence. She was out of fear. She got supported. She decided, okay, let me open my mouth. Let me write down the complaint against the accused. So, this is how the whole scene started in TCS. Authorities and the National Commission for the Women, they approached for the investigation, which is still going on. And investigations are with the victim, with the families. They are taking their statement, testimonies, and the obviously names are still kept confidential. Similarly, the statements are recording from the accused as well. Now I'm coming to the next one. What were the allegations she made? She made the allegation about the sexually inappropriate comments by her seniors. Now remember, the whole scene revolves around the senior authority team leaders where she was working. Repeated unwanted advances. That means to be becoming friendly, to move out, and everything. So, power of play was in regular practice. Stalking on social media, these guys stalked her on the social media as well. They kept on writing on her personal window as well. The messages, requests, and the other things. There was a force to become personal or friendly for the physical relation, and from the other victims, it came out that on the basis of commitment for marriage and for the promises of the growth, they had the practice of keeping the physical relation. So once they have this kind of a uh, experience of harassment, we understand the mental pressure on the women, how she feels, how she experiences, how she can be on the job, how she can uh, give the targets and the performance, right? Coercion and manipulation. That was ongoing. That was the mental pressure on the women, as I said, that she has to change in her communication style as well, right? She was forced to wear the burqa and all. I mean, how to dress up according to their religion, right? And these made the person feel psychological ill, right? That was the person who felt unsafe, that something is going wrong with me. So now retaliation after his refusal. They said, if you do not agree on our terms, right, how you can work over here? There was no job security. As they were acting as a team leaders, so automatically their performance was based on that. They need to mark their performance. They were excluded from the team's project as well. This happened not only to the one woman, this victim, with many of the women's by the time they were very quiet. they couldn't come up, they couldn't speak about it. They just have gone through this kind of experience. There was a mental harassment, obviously, pressure, fear, humiliation in the name of religion. So allegations were on the system, total system. It was the failure. It was no only the accused, it was the total system, which we say about the management and the HR, who are the topmost people who are taking care about the employees, right? So complainant said that I tried to approach many times to the HR. HR said, oh my God, that's such a grown up. These are the very small thing in the system, in the organization. Don't keep all these things in mind. So there was certain statement in the victim's complaint which clearly mentioned how she was ignored by the HR, which the law says that they are the first step to know about how my employees' well-being is. Additional allegations were still under investigation that relates to political and religious pressure and the group level misconduct that we will come to know a bit later on. What were the reasons? But our victims were not educated, they were. But they had the fear. There was the pressure, power of imbalance. They used their power. Above all, the lack of trust in the system, as I earlier said about it. The complaint in the beginning was not cared about it. It was simply ignored by the statements, hota hai, chalta hai, it's just a simple thing, forget about it, don't worry about it, let it go. All these things were mentioned in the victim's complaint. So, I mean, they did not take the things so seriously. Fear of being blamed, which is the highest, most, thinking of a person, that what people will talk about me, I will be judged, they will blame me. So, lack of awareness of the POSH Act, or they're not assured about the justice. It's everywhere, every corner in the organization, whether it's a shop floor, whether it's with the junior staff, whether it's with the staff which are into the middle level. I mean, any one of these can easily trap in that and can feel the harassment. Normalization of behavior was there. It is okay. Social culture and pressure about not the organization culture, right? That was the society, what people will say about me. That was on always her mind. What people will talk about, I'm working with that so and so reputed group, branded group in the world, and how the culture is. And many of us, we are not sure about what is the POSH Act, how do we need to complaint, register a complaint, how it works, what will be the procedure of the complaint, how much time it will take, and I will be always stressed out of it. So all these things made the person stop and do not come forward. Though some people tried, but in between it happens and they say कुछ होना तो है ही नहीं तो हम रिपोर्ट करके ही क्या करेंगे. Many of you must have heard that the complainant directly go on to the social media. or to the other various media where they can easily trust and easily approach without being biased, right? So they prefer. Why don't they prefer to the company's committee? It's a big question for us. So, how this fear model developed in her mind or the victim of the TCS? Fear of retaliation, environment distrust, awareness gap was there, reputation, yes, it matters, and the total system failure of the organization. That made the person think about it. Oh, it is okay. Let me bear it. Let it go. Right. This feeling till she was not able to blast or to come out of it with the help of the other people like family, friends, colleagues, or the other senior at government authorities related to POSH Act. Now, the questions have many of you may be having the questions, though I have, which I have mentioned here in my presentation. What HR should have done and actually what had happened. Let us explore that. First, informal signals came. Victim, she has gone to HR. Before HR approaching, she must have gone through a lot of clues on her face, right? Every one of us know about fear, anger, or to stay away, so many things. Was it reported and noticed by HR? No. Once we say it is a common accountability or a responsibility, but HR the most first person to say about it, as it is the wellness of your employee. Are you comfortable? Why you are sad? Why you are fearful? Why you are not focusing on work? So what HR should have done? Respond immediately. But no, there was no preliminary assessment. There has to be a first signal comes, they should notice it, have a meeting with the uh, victim, ask about it, show trust, and go on to the prim assessment. May not be the formal, but informal way, keeping the things confidential. When the pattern of behavior emerged, what allegedly happened? Victim behavior was totally changed when she joined the company and she worked with the company in number of fields. That was totally changed. Was it noticed? No. There was no early intervention, not of HR, not of the HODs. So where is the culture? We were all ignoring. We need to see how HR are to be alert and concerned about the victim's safety. What HR should have done when identifying the patterns? If you see Radha as a victim, multiple signals are coming up, right? Notice it. If it is in a repetition, that means it's irregular of my any of the behavior which I'm facing it, which I just cannot cope it up, right? I'm not able to move to the POSH committee. I trust HR, and firstly, I decided to come to HR, but that was not there. So HR should need to immediately find out what's wrong with the victim. So again, is the one side victim you are talking about? Can we conduct some proactive checkup with the team she belongs with, the colleagues she works with, and the HOD she reports? Do we have the responsibility to keep an eye open for that as well? We need to. When power misuse, that was visible, as HR directly said to her to forget it. Do not keep your mind over there. Just let it go. And it was very much open environment that people are asking for the favor. If somebody will not come and say, but easily can be seen from the environment, how the things are practicing at workplace. So was it any kind of a interim relief to the victim? No. Was it noticed there was a quid pro quo practice in the organization? No. They totally ignored these kind of things. So how can we say our employees are safe at workplace? Have we ever, being an HR, made a checklist that how our seniors are using their power? We never did that. So it's time now to think about it and just to see how we can see that our seniors are using their power, right? When victims showed distress, there was a changes. There was no emotional help. There was no psychological help to her, right? That means the HR should understand now I am a detector, right? I'm a detector to find out that something has come up as a red flag, right? That may be her absenteeism, that may be her quietness, anxiety towards life, or anything. Once we become as a detector to detect the red flags in the behavior, yes, we need to come forward and to again to see that how we can prevent it, what support we can provide to our victim. When retaliation started, it was wrong. She was removed from the major assignments. She was not entertained in a team. So, how we can take the corrective action? Now it's time to decide by the HR that how this misconduct can be stopped. Can we restore fair work allocation? Can we protect complainant? And above all, monitoring the report by the victim. If victim give any type of a report to the senior, that need to monitor. System level responsibility. Now, if our system fails, what will happen? Because victim doesn't trust. There is no trust in HR, no trust in the IC committee, no trust in the management. Obviously, external people will come to your organization to find out. That is police and media, because your system is not able to take up the responsibility. As I already said, if she is not hurt, if she doesn't feel safe, that what will happen? She'll go to the other social media option. So what HR should have done? Build a trust, so that anybody can walk in. Maybe if the harassment is a minimum, but the minimum harassment tomorrow can be the major. So HR need to work onto the culture which should be safe, which should be visible, that what you are doing for your employees, how you make the person feel that they can have a open door policy, they can walk in anytime, they can speak to you anytime, without fear being you biased, without fear being you judged, without fear of losing a job. That is the major thing. So let us make a checklist for HR also, how we can make the system well work with the safety. So in this case, TCS case, what happened? Crisis. Till she can tolerate, she tolerated. But after that, there's a blast. There is always a legal risk. Now think about how the management have a name in the world, how it dramatically changed overnight when things comes out. When the thing came out, obviously, manage has a threatened about the legal risk. Lot of police intervention, lot of inquiries are going on, lot of people need to speak about it, they need to be recorded with their statement and all. And what it has to be, if it was the early intervention of the HR, early resolution, it's a safe workplace where the victim need not to go out and talk about her experience, that she is looking forward for the safety in her life. She is looking forward a better career in the organization without being biased or without being paying anything in return. That is, as I said about the different kind of things we need to pay when we are asked about the performance and the targets or the increment in our workplace. So now we have all understood about, as you already have a knowledge about the types of harassment, but major focus now what will be the prevention. The prevention, that again, you need to become a detector. You need to respond to the situation. Not only responding, you need to improve the whole system. I know it is difficult, but not impossible. If a single person start with that, people will join you in that campaign. So the awareness as well as prevention both will go simultaneously. Move from the reactive to preventive thinking. As this is the POSH compliance, we need to fulfill the annual report, we need to submit it. That's it. That's actually we are working. Come out of that. Don't wait for the things go out of control, right? Take a action before that. And that action is prevention. What preventive strategies throughout the year, which you can being a very creative people you all are, so you can take a help of the external member, or you have the group, you can always discuss that what are the best preventive strategies without spending money. You can implement it. Right, if anybody would like to have, I will definitely will help you. There are so many preventive strategies, we are doing it. Right, we are helping to our companies and to the employees I'm open up 24 into 7. Any victim, any accused, any HR, any IC member can come and talk to me. Radha, I'm looking forward this kind of a help in that. Definitely, whatever in my resources, I will definitely discuss and will let you know about it. So this is the way we from reactive to preventive measurement. We need to go on to the throughout year. Build a trust-based reporting culture. But we are blind people. We're just नाक की सीध में जाके compliance को follow करते हैं. We never tried to have the multiple complaint operating systems, reporting system. We never made. We know that there is a complaint, let it go to HR or let it go to the POSH committee. So, my dear friend, can we explore many more out of that? Yes. Only thing we should keep it in mind the POSH Act, POSH law, but find out the best way according to our work culture, according to our business, what best we can give them to report about the harassment. That may be the champions, that may be any open door policy, that may be any helpline. I'm not sure about how many companies are using helpline. Few companies are using helpline. Counselors. So we have number of ways and we should adopt number of ways where the people can easily go and write their complaint. So reporting culture has to be improved. Introduce safe spaces like safe circles. I would like to add on here that recently in one of the organization we had made safe circles for their organization. It worked like anything. We are getting very positive response. Here, the team is handling the people on the floor, working on the client side, or working in the company itself. So the space that is in your hand, how you make it or break it. Safe spaces are always minimize or even remove the harassment from the organization. Train your managers as first responders. Let us give training to our champions, post champions, how to take up the first response from the signals, right? That means they need to find out, they need to become as a detector, right? So let us strengthen our managers for that, or not even managers, the volunteers. I must say volunteers as well, who are able to read out the early signs. Early signs, as I said, initially, if a victim have a any kind of experience of harassment, but she's not able to help herself, you need to help her. This also I have recently last week practiced with the all HODs and the IC members, that how do they read out those signs and what should be the next step, what should be their daily checklist to read it out. So that can be done through this activity. Continuous awareness. We again say that it is a compliance once in a year, okay, done with that. No, it is not papers, it is life. It is life, so that everyone should understand. Now, let me come on to the very practical point. What happens? When I used to go to the companies to deliver awareness session, मैडम हम पिछले साल भी सुन चुके हैं, हमें सब पता है. Then why you are not able to adopt it? So, in my last stage show, I have introduced one awareness show in a different style. You can say radio jockey style, in a style where people can have a bit fun with the learning, right? The story which I narrated you in the beginning was the part of it, opening of the awareness session. So can we try certain new ventures, new type of activities in the session where that hammer and they hit that where they are wrong. They should accept it. They now decide about it. It is time to change. It is not just presentation. It is not just the trainer's content. It is something which I need to adopt as an employee. And that should be voluntary. That should not be fear that today we have the POSH training, we need to give attendance. That should be removed. So anybody who wants to know more about my radio jockey style, where I'm writing and recording a small script which we can play in the cafeteria, which we can play on the reception, which we can play in the buses, transport, we are using it. So that will be quite, salt and pepper type where you can have a very quick response about it. Right, so you can contact me for that as well. Strong and visible action on cases. Now is the role of HR and IC both. The moment you identify, the moment there is acceptance, yes, I am facing, I'm ready to write it down, a formal complaint. So, what is your action? That should not only for your day to day, the compliance paper. Again, I'm talking about that should come into your action. Let your employee, let your people know how you are attentive, how you are concerned from your heart to talk about it, to just take care about your employee. So that should come into your action. Address power dynamics. Again, no doubt our seniors have a lot of power. Let it be with them. But can we have time to time monitoring, checking, and to just discussion about it, how they're using their powers? I hope they're using in their right manner. If it go out of track, just give them the reminder with the incident, with the case, not without that. Ensure confidentiality and non-retaliation. Obviously, everyone looks for the confidentiality. That's why they will trust you. They will come and they will talk about their harassment. That requires. Monitor the pattern, not the case. Oh, rather, it happens with you. It has to be like that because we know you and all these things. So you are just focusing on how it happened, why it happened. No. Before that, monitoring pattern need to be detected. Right. If any change, just notice and try to make a trust again with the victim and you. Leadership visibility. How important it is. How many of our leaders will be taking part in it? I'm not sure about it, but always give this um, advice to my leaders that you are addressing number of families, not even a single employee. How do they find that you are there? How you can make your trust with them? I hope you never meet any of the employee once in a year. I'm talking about individually or few group. So make it sure that every leader should have a practice that they are visible not only on the special occasion about Founder Day or any other day. No, in between, you can choose a department where you spend half an hour with them. Or you choose a group of people where you can go and communicate and have a coffee with them so that you know about their life, you know about their working in the organization, you know about their experiences, work with your company. So that is going to pay you. I hope I'm clear with my content and the justice with the timing as well. So let's come on to the question answers. If you have any questions related to that, shall I stop my presentation?
Yes. Uh, Guys, if you want, if you have any question, you can simply raise your hand so that I can unmute you. If anyone has any question, you can, or if you are not able, okay, Anu, Annapurna, let me unmute you. Yes, Annapurna, you can unmute yourself.
First of all, I would like to appreciate you, Radha ji. It was such a great session. I mean, I have gone through such a lot of things in this, and we are also, learning so much of the things. My question is, sometimes what happen when we form some community, even for the posh community, they are the seniors, I know, but there is a conflict between the team itself. When you say that the senior teams must have the visibility, they have the visibility, they know, but sometimes a human behavior comes into it and they provide, sometimes they get into favor, like due to region, due to something else. How to tackle, inside the community conflicts?
See, for that, obviously, you need to have certain policy to work on it. First thing I say. Second thing is time to time, this kind of workshop you need to arrange, right? Where they can learn it. Why it's important to come out of this, right? And the third thing is
Yeah.
give them the rewards if they work better in that. This thing, I
Yeah.
think motivation is really required.
I absolutely agree on that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ritu Das, yes. Those you can unmute yourself. Hello.
Yeah, hi Radha ma'am, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ritu.
Ma'am, I have only one question. According to POSH Act, the legal protection for filing a written complaint is only for, I mean, specifically for women, not men. So, for this, should we consider drafting a gender neutral policy or under a under internal service rules or like what?
Ritu, if we
So
talk
that
about the POSH Act
men feel protected.
2013, it is
Hmm.
only for the women protection, right? Women go and can write a complaint. But
Yes, ma'am.
our practices as a thank you to management, HR, and the committee member who are practicing gender equality, gender neutral policy in the
Right.
organization, where we say that men and women both are equal for us. There they welcome the men also to write a complaint. Right. So, men
Hmm.
and even the transgender we are hiring nowadays, we include the transgender as well to come and report if they face any kind of a harassment at workplace. So that's totally our practices. Under Bharatiya Nyaya
Okay.
Sanhita, yes, they have the special right. And in the TCS
Okay.
also, you must have heard about it. There is a one male victim also,
Yes.
right, who had
Yes.
made a
Yes, ma'am.
complaint. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Ritu.
G, yes, Jyoti, unmute yourself, please.
Hi, ma'am. I know you personally, and it was always pleasure to have your session. And I especially
Thank you.
join this session and request everyone. I mean, I always get a good knowledge from you, in-person training and other ways. It's always a very good training session.
Thank you,
My
Jyoti.
concern is, most of the time, until senior is not involved in any kind of sexual harassment against the women, and what happened, we usually, I mean, make a POSH committee or IC committee with the group of seniors. So what happened, what I'm facing these days, that even seniors themselves lose the confidentiality, and I mean, the confidentiality is a question, and apart from that, the other senior who support to their friend or something like that, because see, all organization is not that big level that people know. I mean, in my organization, people know each other so well. And what happened? They disclose all the things, and and they are pretty powerful, where I cannot raise question against them. Even it is sometimes it is comes to the job of HR. Even HR get threatened to lose their job, and
True.
sometimes she became a victim of office politics and all, because see, she raised the right question in front of management. Even management was not ready to entertain on all these questions, because they, it seems like it's a normal question, it's not a very important question, it's not a very important things to deal or to think about it. So how to handle these situation where you are putting a right question, but it got ignored. I mean, yes, if you say my employees trusting on me, they share all the things whatever happened with them or something like that, something related to this, not exactly the sexual harassment, but something related to this. But what happened at the end of the day, if the seniors involved in such sexual harassment cases or comments or something like that, and a verbal comment is a part of sexual harassment. So what happened, if I raise the concern in front of management, in front of the owner, then most of the time the response is like, okay, okay, we'll check later, not a big deal. Okay, you please check. Okay, I don't have time. Giving the ignored response from the management. So
Agree,
how are
Jyoti.
you going to manage?
See, agree, Jyoti. If we talk about the senior management, the power dynamic people, they use their power and they ignore it. And obviously, the pressure on the committee member is always there. Right. I understand that. But the honor of the company, you can approach. But if we see through the legal point of view, you have the legal right, either the being HR or being any HOD or the victim. Right. If you notice the people are practicing like this, you can report it to the local committee as well, that the organization senior members are practicing like this. Right. So you can make a complaint over there. So that is taken care by them.
But there is a high chance that HR themselves lose their job.
Yes, it's there, but again, if you are being an HR terminated, so management is accountable because nowadays we have a social media which is actively participating and giving a right direction, and the things come out of the company, right? So the things will come to know that, oh, TCS may ऐसे हुआ, a particular company ABCD may, it happens like that. Their management is like that, right? So people are, I mean, the senior management is nowadays very much concerned about their reputation, their business, and everything about their client. So they won't do
Yeah.
it. So don't do it because it's a power of social media.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
that
Thank you
that
so
that
much.
Brahmastra, we need to use it at that time.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so next one is Pratibha Sharma. Pratibha, you can unmute yourself. Hello, Pratibha, you can unmute yourself. I've enabled your mic. Okay, meanwhile, ma'am, will take a question from the chat box. Okay, Okay. Also, there was a question by Tisa. In cases like the TCS incident where issues seem to escalate despite policies being in place, where do you think organizations fail more? Policy design, managing capability, or culture? And what should be the first thing leaders fix?
Well, I must say, if your company, as I said, keeping in mind about POSH compliance, we do all the documentation included with the POSH policy, right? But here the implementation is missing. The part of implementation prevention is missing. We need to work on to that. So I always recommend management to fix up the thing first, which need to be the prevention, noticing and prevention. That is the two pillar in the POSH works a lot.
I hope this answers Tisa. Um, okay. There's a question by Piyush. So, are we going to discuss the She-Box portal? Ma'am, can you please put a light on a She-Box portal if we can?
Well, Shebox portal, earlier it was for the victim to write a complaint because there was another option where the person can write a complaint. But now, recently, it is mandate for every employer to write about the POSH compliance implementation under the Shebox. So, Shebox has a procedure with the writing to the nodal officer that they are practicing the POSH in the organization. They need to create an email ID which will be approved by the district magistrate office. Once it is done, you need to register your POSH committee members over there, right? And similarly, we are putting our annual report in the papers. Same way, there is a option to work in the she box as well, that how many trainings you have done, how many complaints you have received, how many complaints you have resolved, if there's any pending. The same features are there in that. This is just to make the uniformity in India, that everybody should practice in the same way.
Okay, so the next question is okay again by Ritu. Um, if the internal committee cannot find enough evidence to prove a complaint, is a woman automatically liable for punishment for filing a false complaint, or how do we differentiate between a lack of evidence and a malicious intent?
Well, Ritu, both are different, right? Getting not any evidence is something different, right? It doesn't mean that it hasn't happened. Incidents must have happened. Only thing is keeping in mind the POSH Act and its punishment, right? If evidence is not there and it is not proved that this has happened, so IC committee cannot recommend the punishment, right? But there's another way to monitor it and to, I mean, just to monitor it and to see by the HR or by the disciplinary committee. That means 100% we just cannot say that it doesn't have any proof and we are not going to give punishment. Fine, because POSH Act has the limitation. So in that, yes, we cannot punish, but under the HR and disciplinary committee, we can take a uh, action against him. Right. And the fake or the malicious complaints are totally different. That totally says that the due to any reason complainant has lodged a fake complaint, right? When it is proved, POSH committee will recommend to the management or to the HR to take action against that particular female in the disciplinary committee, or if it is not the disciplinary committee, under the HR, right? So equally she will be the punishable for lodging a fake complaint. I hope I'm clear, Ritu.
So again, the this okay. There's a question. How many days it will take for company registration on Shebox?
It's a good question, but it's not in my hand. Like sometimes my clients, they have got within a week, some have not got even after 3 months. We are still sending them the reminder. For that, I appreciate that once you are still waiting after a long time, you just approach physically if it is feasible. Go to the district magistrate office committee, visit there, and talk about your issue. They will resolve it.
Pratibha, your hand is still up. If you want to, you can unmute yourself. I have allowed your mic. If you have any question, you can unmute yourself.
Am I
Uh,
audible?
y- yes, yes. Can we
Yes,
bit little bit
Pratibha.
louder?
Yes. Radha ma'am, good afternoon. Firstly, I would like to compliment you in the way you've kind of presented the TCS case with it's such a complex case with so many variables, but you've just kind of brought it out with so much of simplicity, and you've kind of extrapolated it onto all organizations, and you've given a very, very generic and a broad view to HR as to how we need to kind of, comprehend cases that come
Thank
in
you.
front of us. Uh, with my experience, madam, there are two things that I needed to speak to you about, and also seek your guidance and your way for. I mean, guidance on the way forward on these. Firstly, I would like to ask you. Today's environment is the corporate environment is very different, where men and women people in their kind of post office, they go to casual dinners, but that does not mean that they are friendly. It means it's an official get together. Now, when a case comes up, it becomes very difficult for those employees to kind of prove their intent that it was just a social gathering and it didn't have any other connotation. So when an HR is dealing with the case that comes up to them, how a subtle bias is created by the surroundings around them. How does HR deal with that bias? Because it's very simple to assassinate anybody's character if you don't like that person, and especially
See,
more so for a woman, that she goes for parties or she's usually seen in these kind of places. So how does the HR overcome these biases? And which is, I do understand, quite difficult, because if there are 10 people singing the same song, then how do you kind of be impartial in that environment? That's
See, in
something
that,
I
I
want to
would like to
understand from
suggest
you.
you, Pratibha, I would like to suggest you that you need to have a policy on that, which clearly says about the parties and the behavior, right? And secondly, if it is, you suppose next week you are organizing a party, make a checklist about it so that the people should not come with that, right? With the excuses, I happened, I did this thing because I found Radha to be very extrovert. Radha is more funny. Radha enjoy my company. So many excuses they have. Right. So let it be very clear in your checklist before you invite the people. I mean, with the invitation card, you just add on these pointers which need to
A
be
disclaimer of
taken
sorts.
care. And you need to be fixed on that, whether it's a senior management, whether it's a junior.
That's true, like a
That we
disclaimer
need
that
to
we
be.
give.
I mean, they should understand. See, one is generic policy, maybe your party policy or anything, but along with the party, I mean, there are many occasions with the different party. Diwali is different, Holi is different, right? So every party should have a different checklist where you need to have the boundaries, right? You need to decide about that. Otherwise, you will be in this kind of issue.
That's true, ma'am. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Thank
Thanks a
you.
lot. It was very insightful. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we are done with all the question in the
Gaura, I
chat
have
box.
one question in the chat box. If you see
Okay,
to it, we have left
okay,
with, I think it is Ritu's again.
okay. So as we have business of manufacturing shoes, we deal with high-profile clients and external vendors. If a client harasses one of our staff members during a fitting or a delivery, what is the company's legal obligation under POSH, given that we have no disciplinary control over the client? Okay.
We need to have the two. I mean, again, with the same procedure, you can file a case on the person in the committee of that client. The client must be having the POSH committee, right? To the
Right.
client committee, you need to write a complaint letter that this is received by my employee, and we are going to initiate an inquiry in that. So you
Okay, ma'am.
cannot spare your client. I mean, high profile
Yeah.
client, their staff or their vendor or any person.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. What is POSH? Okay. I think we have done with the question in the chat box.
Yes, ma'am. I guess we already extended the today's session. Uh, 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 with your permission, ma'am, can we move to the next part of the today's webinar?
Yes,
So
please.
that I can hand over the mic to Kanika, ma'am. Kanika, ma'am, are you there?
Right.
Yes, Gaurav, I'm here only. Am I audible?
Hey, yes, Kanika.
Thank you, Radha ma'am. It was very insightful for all of us, and I'm
Thank
really
you.
like obliged to have such kind of session from you guys. And it's very informative, very well structured, I would say. And it helped us to clearly understand that what exactly the POSH policy is, and also the importance of a safe and respectful workplace, which is a required and essential part of all of us, not only for women, for men as well. So thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Kanika. Thanks a lot
Thank
for
you.
your words.
So keeping that in view, keeping that in mind, being women, we have introduced such kind of option in our portal as well. In Pocket HRMS, we have introduced a POSH option so that being a woman, being a male member, you can go and raise a complaint from your end. So such kind of option is there. I'll share my screen with you and showcase the same to you. Is my screen visible to all?
Yes, it is visible.
Thank you, Gaurav. So, Pocket HRMS has taken an initiative to introduce an ePOSH module for all of us. If I click on ePOSH, so irrespective I'm male or female employee, I can go and raise a voice from here. It's a kind of whistleblower in the organization. So we have a setup here where we can set up a presiding officer and we can set up a committee member also. Female committee member must be there at least. And if I just click on log into my ESS portal, I can go and log in my complaint from there. How do I do that? I log into my ESS portal and click on dashboard. Here we have an option. I can go and raise a voice. As an initiative, we have also added up small video for reference because still today people are not aware what is POSH is. So here, I click on raise voice and I can have the option where I can go and raise the complaint for myself and also for my co-worker. When I talk about myself, like I can go and hide my identity as well. I can put the name of an offender like this. I can select the type of incident. We have added certain incident here. You can select those like multiple incident can be selected at one time. You can add the date here. You can add the time of the incident also. Evidence upload that can be possible from here. Any picture, video, document, any file up to 5 MB can be added here. You can have the incident detail here. So that can be added and you can submit it. Once you submit this, all your committee members, including your presiding officer, will be getting the mail regarding the same. Also, they'll be getting the notification on their ESS portal under this bell notification icon. Once a complaint has been raised, we have an auto response also that will be received by the complainant. So being a presiding officer, I'm opening the portal from my end. and we got the complaint like this. POSH complaint added, complaint number 49. And if I just click here under POSH module, I go to complaint list. I can check out all the complaint that has been shared. I can self-assign the complaint to myself. I can assign it to other person also of my committee members. Let me self-assign to myself here. I click on edit icon here. I can check out the details of the complaint here. I can go and update the status also, whether in progress, and in case it is got resolved, I can go and close the same. Whatever status I'll update here, that will also get notified to the employee on their email ID as well as on the ESS portal bell icon notification. Once I'm done with this, once I resolve the query, I can go and click on close. Close and resolve will work in the same manner currently. And if the complainant is not satisfied with the answer, they can go and reopen the case also from there. So that option is also available. We are providing you multiple reports regarding the same. And if you want to keep a track on the like this complaint has been deleted by anyone or any timeline that you want to keep a track on, that option is also available. If I go to complaint list, we have a complaint timeline option as well, where you can have the complaint ID and activity by any of the your presiding officer or committee member and on different events created, assigned, archived. So this kind of option is available here, and multiple reports regarding the same is also available. Let me show the glimpse of the report also. So being a employee, I can go and check out the report at my end. Being a member, being a presiding officer, I can also download the report from my end and go and check out the status. So that kind of option is available here. We have separate dashboard for that purpose. I'll go to ePOSH dashboard, like where you can go and check out the same, the complaint here, complaint number, this one has been closed, complaint, this complaint has been resolved. So that can be checked out from here itself. Separate mail ID is also reflecting here, so that in case you want to have a you want to share the separate mail to that particular mail ID, so that mail ID can be visible here as well. So this kind of option is available here. Any query, any concern on this part? All right, Gaurav, I think then we'll conclude the session now.
All right. Okay. Thanks. So if you are a customer of Pocket HRMS, you can simply, connect with your support team. And if you want a demo of a ePOSH software, ePOSH model separately, you can connect to your support team. If you're not a Pocket HRMS user, you can simply go and visit our page, our website, and schedule a demo. All right. I have put in the link in the chat box. If you are not a Pocket HRMS user, you can separately, connect with our team on, you can fill out the form in the website. I will share the link in the chat box, and the team will, schedule a demo for you. Thanks. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys, for joining today's session. We have one more session tomorrow. Today was supposed to on a smart talk. We'll be sharing the details on email as well. So please join tomorrow's session as well. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye.